All right, my friends, let's talk about bios for a minute. Okay, you've got your headshot pro photos. You have run them through Photoshop, or somebody has run them through Photoshop for you, and you basically have shells of social media profiles. First things first, try to do your best to make your URLs, like most of mine, in fact, I think all of mine are Heart Hands Mikey. That's my Instagram, my TikTok, my Facebook. I think it will be my YouTube when I get enough watch minutes, and it is also my website. So it's easy for me to say to anybody, you can check me out basically on most social media platforms. Heart Hands Mikey, at Heart Hands Mikey. People are like, where do I find you? Heart Hands Mikey. Just type in the word Heart Hands Mikey, and then you pick your poison. If you want to see me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, my website, or just Google it, and a million different things will pop up. So it's kind of a no-brainer, but it's something that can get kind of tricky. Like, for example, I originally wanted Heart Hands Crew as all my social media things. The reason why is because I really wanted to make it about you guys, and I really wanted to make it about the fans. So rather than like Instagram.com/Mikey or Mikey Shanley or Sirius, DJ Sirius, or even Heart Hands Mikey, that's putting the focus on me. I wanted it to be more about you guys, since it's social media and we're all interacting and engaging. Crazy thing about that, though, those plans came to a screeching halt when Facebook said to me that I was not allowed to use certain words that I had tried to use in my my URL. And I looked at the words, and basically just through trial and error and trying a few things, I realized it's not the word heart. It's not the word hands. What is the problem word here? Well, the problem word is crew. I don't know if it's hard. I can only throw darts in a dark room about that one. I don't know if it's a gang thing or a political thing. I have no clue. I don't know. Obviously, for me, it's none of those things. It's a crew. It's a gathering of fans, a gathering of people. So that delayed me, because I'm gonna stick with these URLs probably for the rest of my life, and that messed me up. And unfortunately, I'm not a huge pop star where I can probably push my weight around a little bit more and get what I want. So I started thinking about it, and this was before Pineapple Guy was even part of my branding. It was just the Heart Hands logo. And as I was thinking about it, my actual DJ name is Mikey. In some ways, people are like, well, that's kind of weird. But the reason why it's Mikey with an exclamation point on the end is because I want to make things inclusive and I want to make them familiar. So if somebody hears the name Mikey Shanley for the first time, they may or may not remember any of that. It's likely they'll remember Mikey, but will they remember Shanley, my last name? It's anybody's guess. Now, in the DJ world, that's common, but it's much easier to remember Marshmello than it is John Digweed, or Carl Cox. Now, of course, these are household global names, so they're not that hard to remember because they're on pretty much every big festival flyer and they're drilled into our heads. But I'm not, and I wanted to make it easy for kind of the new generation, and as things change and shift, for people to remember me. I'm sure that you can kind of think about other bigger stars who maybe have kind of one word or one name to their artist name, and it's just much easier to remember. And especially if you're not known, it's way easier. So Mikey just feels like it's your friend. It feels familiar, inviting, and but obviously I couldn't just get like Instagram.com/Mikey, which led me to another issue. So it can't be Heart Hands Crew, and it can't be Mikey, because usually before platforms even blow up, it's just, one words like that are just, they're taken, they're gone. You can't have Instagram.com/Mikey. Somebody stole that back in 2010, and I don't know, what to really say about that other than it's hard to get those. So I'm looking at my logo. I can't have Hard Hands Crew. I can't have just my DJ name, which is Mikey, to make it simple and easy for people to remember. So I thought, well, looking at my logo, the word Mikey is there, and I think it should definitely be in the URLs. But what else is there? Well, the Heart Hands. So Heart Hands Mikey was available on a lot of the major platforms. And I thought, well, if that's what's available, it's not totally off brand. In fact, it's pretty dead on brand because it's my logo, Heart Hands with the word Mikey underneath it. And even though there is a little confusion maybe about that, between like, okay, well, you have a Heart Hands logo with the word or the name Mikey underneath it. So if you just look at that, and you didn't know my social media profiles, like if I just went up to a stranger on the street and showed them my logo, they would say the word Mikey. I mean, they can see hands making a heart, but they're not going to know, they're not going to look at me and say, this is Heart Hands Mikey. They're going to see the name with the logo above it and just say it's Mikey. Same thing with the pineapple guy. I really didn't know how to tie that in either, but it's one of those things where it's easy to overthink for sure, but at the same time, give it a little bit of thought because you're going to need to pass these URLs around to a lot of people. And if it's something with a funky spelling, if it's something that's hard to pronounce, these are things that can work against you. Now, eventually, you'll just market yourself no matter what you are, whether it's John Digweed, Marshmallow, Dead Mouse, but as we know, the word mouse for Dead Mouse isn't spelled correctly. It's with a 5 instead of an S and a U on the end there, or I'm sorry, no E on the end there. So, you have to kind of take these things into account and kind of just do what you can. Not life or death, but try to make it clever and try to make it all work. So, just a little thought on that. Into the bios, I like to use every social media platform for what it is, rather than cramming a square bio into a round hole and then going to the next social media platform and realizing it's an oval hole and just continuing to bash a square peg into all that. So, and I'll show you an example of what I mean. With my Instagram bio as it is right now, I'm doing a few things here that maybe people will agree with or disagree with, but it's at least taking action, and as I learn more, I can adjust. But at this point, this is pretty darn solid. First things first, I clear up the confusion, or at least I create an interest in getting to the bottom of something, which is kind of big. You see a pineapple guy, okay? The URL is Heart Hands Mikey, but then at the top of the bio, it's my DJ name, Mikey. That's kind of confusing. I don't really understand. But it's not so confusing that it makes people run away. They look at the branding, it's fun, Heart Hands Mikey, it's cool. Clearly you can already see from different giveaways here, DJing, merch, Mikey fans, that it's some kind of artist or project. And you can see the artist name at the top there, Mikey. So in a weird way, and I hope you guys can roll with me on this, in a weird way it creates a kind of positive confusion, and people want to kind of sort of get to the bottom of it, even though it's not complicated. But that's kind of the point, is if it's too complicated, you're going to scare people away. So, and plus, even in the URL, the word Mikey is still there. So it makes sense, even though it's kind of fuzzy. First thing, right after my artist name, so you know what the hell to call me, I give you a clear call to action. Follow, like, subscribe. It's very important that you direct your fans with words like that. That's why when you watch YouTube videos, people say, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. We've heard it so often now, it's almost become a subconscious thing that you ignore, almost like a thank you when people hold the door for you, or, whatever. There's a ton of different social cues you can point to with that. But it's at least giving a call to action. I want you to follow, like, and subscribe. Will people listen? Some will and some won't. But it's a heck of a lot better than not asking at all. This goes back to basic sales techniques. You have to at some point ask for the sale in some way, shape, or form. Just having casual, kind conversation is great, and it breaks up the monotony, and it gets to know people and gets them comfortable with you. But you're still not asking for the sale. At some point, you have to say, "What are we doing here? Which one did you like? How can I help you?" Follow, like, subscribe. So, call to action, pretty important. Next, I took the opportunity here to say text Mikey to 31996. We'll go over how I do this, but essentially, just as a lot of people have email lists, text seems to be the next big thing. So, instead of urging fans on my Instagram to sign up for my email list, I urge fans to text, once again, my artist name. So, real quick, Heart Hands Mikey in the URL. Top of the bio, Mikey, exclamation point, my artist name. Text Mikey to 31996. The confusion should start to be lifting. If you're reading over this, it should start to kind of take you down a journey where you're getting to know me. And through getting to know me and what I do, the confusion of who I am and what I do gets lifted. Everybody basically goes through this process the first time that they check out an artist or a TV show or whatever. It's just hard to remember it after you've watched the 10th show or heard the 10th song from an artist. You start to take these things for granted because they get deep-seated into your subconscious. But I try to make it very easy for a perfect stranger who has no clue who I am to more or less figure it out quickly. Next line, my hashtag, Heart Hands Crew. Now wait a minute, Heart Hands Crew, but the URL says Heart Hands Mikey. Once again, positive confusion. What the hell's the Heart Hands Crew? Well, keep reading, you'll find out. But for most of you guys watching the video now, you know that's my fan base. But the cool thing about that is it tells people, if you want to interact with me, if you've met me, taken a picture with me at a festival, go ahead and tag yourself. Go ahead and use the hashtag. So post the picture, hashtag Heart Hands Crew. Throw those heart hands up. It reinforces the brand. It reinforces my tribe, and just everything about me. So pretty cool. Pretty darn solid, pretty darn good. Next one. Tropical EDM DJ producer. Now that is the one where all the fog gets lifted and it becomes a beautiful sunny day. So, follow, like, subscribe. What the heck am I follow, liking, and subscribing? It's a pineapple logo. It says Heart Hands Mikey. I'm not quite sure why the word Mikey with an exclamation point is the first thing I see. Text Mikey. There's that word again, the 31996. Apparently this person has a hashtag Heart Hands Crew. And then tropical EDM DJ and producer. Okay, I get it. So this is an EDM DJ and producer that's really leaning on the tropical branding of stuff. Okay, super clear now. I get it. But one of the last lines of the bio, learn to produce via my YouTube. Okay, that's about to change because I'm just about to launch my music academy that you're watching right now. But that shows people not only if you are a fan of EDM, is there music and DJ mixes in my branding and my everything to indulge in, but if you are a DJ and producer and you're feeling confused, you're in a rut, you feel you need help, you like what I have going on here and you'd like to join my army, there it is. Learn to produce via my YouTube. Easy as pie, just like July. Last line here. Private lessons, www.hearthandsmikey.com. All that does is reinforce. Not only can you learn for free to produce on my YouTube, but I offer private lessons. So if you really are confused or you really want to take the next step, it doesn't matter which boat you're sitting in. I'm confused. I need actual help. I need to get Mikey on the phone. You can do that. Or I'm not confused. I've been DJing for 3 years, but I'm in a rut and I need that elite level, that next step up that nobody else is offering. I offer private lessons. You can get me on the phone today. No big deal. Let's do it. Let's get you winning. So that's my bio for Instagram. And we will go over this kind of stuff, but it is pretty self-explanatory, and a lot of it ties into other things. Like Mikey Fans ties into things that people send me via message. Music ties in mostly with my Spotify. DJing is a lot of my live streaming stuff. So what you're seeing here is stuff that's kind of interwoven with other things in my life. Merch will link you to my website where you can buy t-shirts, and then YouTube actually is pretty straightforward, just takes you to my YouTube. But we'll go over those kind of features later. For now, we're looking at bios. Remember what I said earlier about a square peg going into a round or oval hole? Well, this is why you need to adjust your bio, in my opinion. This format works good for Instagram. I went ahead and did something else for Facebook. Now, this is my Facebook page. Well, first of all, you can see my banner gives you direction. Stream on Spotify. Socials at Heart Hands Mikey. This is what I opened up this video with. Make it easy at Heart Hands Mikey for everything. Website, TikTok, Facebook, whatever. The banner tells you what to do. Stream on Spotify. Almost everybody's on Spotify nowadays. There's your call to action. Boom. Not the most impressive looking banner, but for just starting out in launching this brand, it's a good way to show people what to do and what I'd like them to do as early adopters of my brand. Now, my bio on Facebook is different just because of the nature of what a bio is on Facebook, what it offers. I do believe there is a character limit, but it's much, much more than Instagram. I mean, this took a lot of time to tweak, to cram everything that I want to say into this without running short on space, because they only give you so much space and characters to work with, and even little things. Figuring out the verbiage so that I can uniformly have pineapples on this side and unique emojis on this side. The cell phone for the text, the Heart Hands crew has the heart, the DJ producer has the keyboard, obviously. Learn to produce via my YouTube. I think there's nothing there because I wanted to try to fit in other things here like private lessons, and things got a little bit wacko there. So is it something to obsess over? No, but tinker with it for an hour and get out what you want to say without having to sacrifice too much. This bio on Facebook, totally different. I mean, you can see there's a huge header, and there's like a good paragraph where you can explain to people what the heck you want to do and what the heck you are. So yeah, there's that. The whole point of this is different social platforms are going to give you different options, and as a result of having different options, use the options given to you to your advantage. This is if you want to read about me. It just is the way it is. This is very informational. You can get going on my text list. You can follow, like, subscribe. You can engage with a hashtag. I am a DJ producer, but you can learn to produce for free on my YouTube. You can go to my website. I offer private lessons. Super jam-packed with info that's very relevant to the Instagram crowd. And it's just great. And I might even think about adopting that over to my Facebook as well. But we'll see about that. But yeah, don't have just one bio necessarily, hoping to put that in every single social media platform, because they give you opportunities on their platforms to excel if you just follow along and cooperate with what they're giving you, rather than saying, nope, I'm going to jam my agenda onto this platform. My agenda really had to be edited in order to get out what I wanted to say here. There wasn't enough room, and it really took a long time to get that going. So it may not necessarily take you long, but just go with the flow and say what you need to say, but watch your verbiage. Watch wasteful words. Just the length of sentences. Are there any words that you can maybe edit or delete? So there you go, guys. Enjoy. Get to working on your bios.